So I've got a lot of guilt about living in Louisville, Kentucky, because my dad's in North Miami Beach, Florida. Today is Sunday, May the 19th, and 2024. And I spoke to my mom on the phone. It was a brief conversation, and she told me that my dad was barely eating, and that I forget what it's called, but like the hospice nurse had told her, Veritas, I think it's called, had told her that, my dad this is how they pull away. They stop eating, and it could take weeks, it could take months, but that this is how they let go. They being older people. My dad's 100 years old. And he turned 100 April 6th, and we had a nice party for him, and he was great. And my sister was there, and my first cousin was there, my mom was there, I was there, my dad was there. A nurse came in and sat down with us, and it was a really nice thing. And I took some video, and um, my dad's had a very, very long life, a very happy life, um, and if you hear something, I'm playing with these two bottle caps, or whatever they're called, bottle tops, I guess. I don't know. I'll try to stop doing that because that probably makes noise. With the mic being so close. But yeah, and I was planning a trip to Santo Domingo for June 1st, or I was going to go down June 1st and see my parents for a couple days before, a couple days after, and then come back to Louisville. But maybe I'll go next week. I don't know. Like my dad, I know my dad's gonna hang in there for a year or two. I hope he will. I don't know, but at the same time, like he's in a nursing home, and he's they have to change him, and he's not able to walk because he had a really bad fall in January. And I don't want to be selfish by hoping that he lives another 2 or 3 years, or another year, or another month, or whatever, because I don't want to, again, what I want and what I feel isn't going to have any impact on him necessarily, but I don't want to be selfish about it. But I just don't want him to be in any kind of pain. And I also have a lot of guilt because I live here in Louisville and I should be in Miami, but I'm licensed to practice law in Kentucky, and I would not be able to practice law there. Maybe if I did immigration law, I could, which is federal, but I just, and I also don't like living in South Florida. I don't. I never really have. But, I just feel like, and the other thing is that I was in this office. I'm in my private office here in J-Town or Middletown, whatever this is, Hurstbourne and Shelbyville, whatever that is. Maybe you could look it up on the map and tell me if you care enough, but I don't know what it is. Um, and I remember it was like, it must have been like late March when I got this call. I was here at the office, and they called me from the nursing home like at 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, this has got to be it. And I walked around, and I went outside. I called my mom. I called my mom's best friend, who's like an aunt to me. I called my sister. I called just whoever I could think of to call, and nobody was picking up. And then my first cousin picked up, and he spoke to me, and I said, I don't want to listen to this voicemail because I'm terrified that because they had left me a voicemail I didn't get to pick up. And it's not that I didn't get to pick up, I didn't really want to pick up, I didn't want to hear it. And so after talking to me for a while, he was like, look, you've got to pick up that phone, and you've got to see what they said, because, I mean, you just got to get over it, and he said he would, talk to me after I listened to it. And with AT&T, you can listen to the voicemail while you're on the phone, which is what I did. Or actually, I don't know if you can or not, but you can actually see the transcription of it, which is what I did. And they were just calling to say that he was okay, and that they would call with other updates. And I was like, my gosh, I made all that fuss thinking he had died. And they, but then again, I thought like in a really weird way, like that it was kind of like a practice of sorts, which sounds really bad. But I thought, I've been given this opportunity to see how I'll react when he passes, and I've got to do a lot better than this, because I just fell apart and I didn't even know. And that was like 2 months ago, maybe 2.5 months ago or something like that. But now my mom telling me that he's barely eating, and that the Veritas nurse is saying that, this is how they let go. I'm starting to think maybe I should go sooner. maybe I shouldn't even go to Dominican Republic. Maybe I should use those days to be there, which I'm thinking is probably a better idea. But then, maybe I should just, not change the course of my life too much because he may be around for another year or two. I don't know, and I don't want to be selfish, and I don't want to have regrets. And I know that I already have them because I've lived in Michigan for law school, North Central Florida for undergrad, Kentucky, for the last almost 10 years, and all the while I could have been in Miami or somewhere very close, but I don't like living there is the thing. I don't like living there. I don't like the people that much. It's not where I want to be. It's just not where I want to be. And, but that's where my parents are, and that's where like my family is that I still talk to, because my parents don't talk to half of the world. So, I don't know. It's just kind of complicated, and, I was going to a therapist back in 2019, and she had told me to document everything, write everything down in a journal. I've got the journal, it's in my bag somewhere, and but there's so many things that I say, I'm going to write that at some point, I'm going to get to writing that, and it just never seems to go from pen to paper. It never seems to make it to the journal. And the journal is rather useless unless I go back and read it periodically, which I never do. It doesn't help that I don't have any friends locally. It doesn't help that, I'm single perpetually, it seems. It doesn't help that I don't have any kids. It doesn't help that the only thing that I had that I owed something to was a plant here in my office, and it died last Monday. So I'm kind of like in a spot where, all I really have is my work, my YouTube channels, my 10 articles a month for Iron Magazine, my Instagram pages through Strength Addicts, and just basically my book that I'm writing on El Salvador and Bukele that I would like to have done by May. It's now May 18th or May 19th. Tomorrow's May 20th. So I've got basically 10 days. I'm not going to be able to finish it, but hopefully I can get a couple chapters into it. I've done a lot of background research. But basically, my creative side and my work side, and covering a show last Saturday in Lexington, and covering a show the week before that in Middletown/Cincinnati, a bodybuilding show, and going this morning to LaGrange to take videos and pictures. My creative side, my work life, is what's keeping me sane and being able to create content. So I just hope that, for me, a lot of it is also being able to get this off my chest, documenting it. Hopefully somebody will leave a comment, but it's really not about that. Comments, that's like the icing on top, the sprinkles or whatever. Being able to, verbalize this, articulate what I'm going through, and have a recording of it literally is very important. For what I don't know, time capsule purposes, maybe to look back on it, maybe to prepare myself for what's to come. I don't really know, but it makes me feel better to be able to share and to be heard. And so if you listen to 30 seconds, a minute, or the full 8 or 9 minutes of this video, 10 minutes, however long this video is, then I appreciate you like you have no idea. If you want to subscribe to the channel and see more of these videos and a whole bunch of other videos, because this particular channel is called Everything Else Channel, everythingelsechannel.com, and it's everything else. So if you want to listen and watch this type of video, then I invite you to subscribe. I invite you to leave a comment, maybe a thumbs up. But for me, I've already won because I've been able to open up and share all the stuff that's in here, and it definitely helps me. So thank you if you watched or if you didn't. And if you didn't, how do you even know I'm saying this?